Hey, Rolling Out, it's your host, Christal Jordan, and we are here with a reality check. We have one of our favorite Georgia Peaches joining us today. She is a singer, songwriter, actress, reality star, and now she is executive producing an amazing new show on Broadway titled Thoughts of a Colored Man. Please help me welcome the very beautiful Kandi Burruss to Reality Check. Welcome, Kandi.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. I am good. Well, first of all, congratulations on whenever I think about you, we wanted to have you here on Rolling Out for a while. You do so much. And we get a chance to see you try things and, keep doing some things you don't. You do all of this while being a mom and a wife. So how have you managed to balance everything that you have on your plate and still keep some room for Kandi in the midst of that?
I mean, realistically, it's really hard to have any time for myself, to be honest with you, because it's like when I work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. I'm constantly working. I don't really get many days off or whatever. And then I have kids, I have small kids at that. So I always tell people I'm team no sleep, but kind of because I gotta be, because I can't sleep late. I have to be up at the crack of dawn, and I tend to be up late a lot. So yeah, I'm always on the go.
So you're just one of those people that are not, you seem more machine than person. You've got, how young is Blaze now?
She is 1. She will be 2 in November 22nd.
You have a 1-year-old, and then Riley is
19.
And then you have the stepdaughter and then adorable little guy. So they span the gamut, and then you are still singing. We still get a chance to hear you perform every once in a while, doing Real Housewives of Atlanta, and now Thoughts of a Colored Man. I always want to ask you, when you were in Xscape, did you have like aspirations to do other types of business the entire time, or did this just kind of come as opportunities presented themselves to you?
Well, I mean, okay, so when I was in Xscape, obviously, we started our group when I was 14.
Yeah.
We got our record deal when I was 16. So, I had childhood dreams just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely had dreams of our group becoming a success, but then I always used to want to be a big actress. And I went to the high school we all met at. I was there for musical theater.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing drama and theater. I did more drama and theater than I did music. So a lot of my friends then used to think, they used to think that I was going to really go more to be an actress than a singer. But it just worked out that, our music career jumped off. Mm-hmm. I always liked writing songs, and I don't know. So it's just kind of like, I always had I enjoyed doing all of those things. But the music aspect is what really popped off of me first.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of went with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really pursue my acting dreams for a long time. And it wasn't until I would say about 6 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I really was like, okay, what am I waiting on? Like, I know I want to act, so I switched up agents, and I told them from the jump, I was like, I want to be an actress. I want to pursue all of these, other things as far as producing and different stuff. So that's when I really started doing, like, getting heavy into, I guess maybe it was only 4 years ago, maybe that changed that, because I ended up doing Chicago on Broadway. I was Mama Morton.
Yeah.
And then since then, I told him, I was like, well, you haven't done Broadway till you do it twice. So I was like, we got to go back to Broadway. We got to do something.
Yeah.
But this opportunity to be a producer on this show, Thoughts of a Colored Man, came up, and that's when I was like, yes, because I like both. I like being behind the scenes, and I like doing what I have to do in front of the camera or in front of the mic or whatever.
Yeah,
but I enjoy both just as much equally. Like, I enjoy working on my own stuff as much as I like doing stuff for other people and seeing it become a success.
Nice.
I still feel successful if I had a part in somebody else's success. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm happy that I'm able to experience, both things, being behind the scenes and in front.
Simultaneously sometimes.
Yeah.
So tell me about your experience, because Chicago is that's like a very infamous play that's been done so many times, but it's like one of those stories that everybody loves. There's great music. It's just, it's it's sexy, but it's timeless. So how was that experience being a part of something that has been around for so long? So many amazing people have been a part of that cast.
Yeah. I was super nervous at first, to be honest with you, because it's like, to do theater, it's like you're performing 8 shows a week, 6 days a week. And that's a little tough, and you have to get used to that. But then every time you have to bring it like it's the first day. You got to bring it with that same energy. You got to bring it, to get the crowd. That every new audience, they haven't seen it before. Well, some people come back to see it again and again, but you have to assume that most of the people have not seen it before. So you have to give them all you got every time. That could, be a lot on you as a artist or actress or whatever. So it took a minute to get used to it, but I was excited. And then obviously, you get the, oh my God, it's a long running show. It's been a lot of big names that have played this role. I got to do it justice and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Now, how is that different from performing? Because I know when you guys go on tour, it may not be that hectic. You probably aren't performing back to back, but you got to bring it for every show. You're dancing, you're entertaining. You got to give the audiences your all. Which are you more well, I would assume singing, because you've been doing it for so long, but which are you more comfortable? Which stage are you more comfortable? The singing with your group or being on a Broadway stage?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. Singing with my group is kind of easy because we can play off of each other, and we could change it up. It doesn't have to be the exact same every time.
Gotcha.
But like when you're doing a Broadway show, you have to do it exactly the way the director wants it to be. So you can't just go switching it up if you want to.
Right.
Now, some directors are not so like tedious about every line being said the way it is in script, but Chicago is.
Yeah. Well,
they want you to say it exactly like they have it in script, and then they want you to hit all the notes the way that they taught you to do it. Now, there are certain lines that they will allow you to do a little, a couple runs on or whatever. But if you change up one fluctuation of the melody of how they wanted it to be after the show, they were like, remember when you did the, we wanted you to do the, they're like, then we changing up our show, know? So it's a little bit for that. Yeah, it was a little tighter.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, so the show that you are executive producing or part of the production team is Thoughts of a Colored Man. And I thought this was really interesting because we see now more than ever where Black men are really speaking up and sharing their stories from their perspectives. Is that one of the reasons that you were excited about being a part of this production?
I was super excited about being a part of the show because it's historic. It's the first time ever in Bravo's history that you're going to have 7 Black men starring in the show, a Black director, a Black writer, and an all Black producing team.
Wow.
That has never happened in the history of Broadway. Of Broadway. Typically, Broadway has always been referred to as the Great White Way. So you have to remember the history of it and to know how historic this is. So that's the first thing. But then also, to me, I always want to see us shown, meaning us, I mean, African Americans, shown in the light that we need to be shown in. Being put in position, because once we are able to do that, then it normalizes it, and other opportunity will come for other Black writers, other Black directors, other Black, you know what I mean? So somebody has to kind of like open that door. So to me, that was important. And then also the show is an amazing show. Scott II, he wrote an amazing piece. It's about 7 Black men who come meet in this Brooklyn barbershop, and they represent different emotions. So it's like really this is like they're telling their story, but they're totally different personalities. So one guy, he represents happiness. One guy represents depression. One represents lust. One represents love, passion. It's 7 different
Wow.
emotions that you will see come through in them throughout
Okay.
the show. And I just think it's important for us to see Black men in a different light from what we've been presented or what we've seen them presented as through media and news and all of that for, in the past. So people need to know that it's a lot more to it and we don't all think the same.
Right. Right. Well, you have some really big names in this. One of my favorites, DeLon Burnside, I've worked with him when he was really small, is a part of this. Wolf James, actually Da Vinci, who was in the new BMF series. You got a lot of heavy hitters here. Here's a picture of you with some of the cast there. Mac Wiles. Tell us about the cast and how do you feel magic between them and that kind of thing? Because these are some really some of today's biggest young stars.
For sure. Okay, so our cast is amazing. Let's be clear. Luke James, we are in the Chi together. So it's pretty cool to be able to work with him, be a part of the Chi family on Showtime. As well as,
I said, congratulations on that too, because that show is everything. That show is a huge favorite, and congratulations on being a part of that. Yeah.
Thank you. So we worked together on that, but to also see him having his Broadway debut as well as a actor on Broadway is amazing. He does an amazing job. Okay, he has the voice of an angel. Let's go ahead and say that.
And he's easy on the eyes as well. I'm not.
Yeah. So it's I remember the first show when I went on October 1st. As soon as he came out on stage, the women was going crazy. It's so funny to me how people react. Yeah. We have just been recently introduced to Da Vinci on BMF, the TV show on Stars, but he's also in our show and he does an amazing job. Yeah. He does Lust, of course.
We should have known.
Yeah, but he is really, really dope in the show. We have some a Broadway vet. We have our boy Brian Terrell Clark. He played in Hamilton, the musical, which was a record-breaking musical. So to have him on Broadway, so to have him with us in our show, is amazing. My boy Forrest, he's gonna bring tears to your eyes. He is such a great actor, and he's also a Broadway veteran himself, and he's done so much. So everybody in the show, Mac Wiles, we know him from The Wire, and to see all of them come from different, backgrounds or whatever, different major things that they've done and to come together on this stage, they really have formed a brotherhood outside of the show. So when they hit the stage, it just flows.
Yeah. So we saw that you posted that right after, I guess, you seeing the show for the first time. This was the crowd there on Broadway with the marquee was lit up. What was your feelings watching it for the first time? Or did you watch it in the audience for the first time there in New York?
Oh, it was an amazing feeling just to know that, wow, we did it. The show is on. It's the house. It just went crazy for it. Everybody was giving it a standing ovation. Everybody laughed when they were supposed to laugh. They had the moments when they were supposed to have that moment. Just like the moments really hit in the show, which is what you wonder how people are going to take it.
Right.
So, was very excited to see the reception, but then I was excited. I was excited mainly, obviously, because this was my debut as well as a producer.
Yeah.
On Broadway, to have a Broadway show that I'm a producer on is a really big deal. It's not like that doesn't happen every day.
Yeah. Well, if anybody would be doing that, it would definitely be Kandi Burruss because you are a trailblazer in so many areas. We see here, there's some pictures that I pulled from your Instagram. You had some pretty heavy names there. We see our sister Angela Bassett was there to celebrate with you, came out. Wayne Brady and Lettucey, like a huge, reception from Black Hollywood. How did that feel to have those actors that we know? Angela Bassett has, she's like the mother of all of Broadway, that kind of celebration. How did it feel to have them come out and really celebrate what you were doing?
Well, first of all, I'm a huge fan of Angela Bassett, and we had a lot. It's even since then. It's been even more of our Black Hollywood and music and entertainment business elite show up. Wyclef was there the other day, so every day it seems like somebody comes through to show love, and it really feels good because honestly, we need that support.
Yeah.
Like we need that support. It's not enough to say, oh, we got a show on Broadway. Just because we got a show on Broadway doesn't mean that people are going to come out and support it, Right. So we need that support because at the end of the day, it can only continue to happen is if it's a success, People tend to say they don't want to invest in Black productions or Black-led productions or written scripts and all of those things because they feel like, they won't sell. They won't ticket sales. So we need everyone, not just celebrities. We need everybody to come out and support this show because it's like, if you don't support it, how do you expect for it to continue to happen? How can the next Black writer get his first piece on Broadway to get people to give him that shot, that opportunity?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, and we truly appreciate our theater, the Golden Theater, and our owner of our theater for allowing this opportunity to happen. But there are no Black-owned theaters. You know what I mean? So we have to still continue to work, continue to be recognized to get these opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it feels like there has just been a resurgence of like Black writers, Black producers, as far as television. Now, Broadway has been that, that elite that we haven't necessarily broken into in the same way. But do you feel like we're having more opportunities for television and film? And even in music? I mean, music has always been something that we've kind of dominated, but it feels like there's more producers, executives involved in different areas of entertainment. And I would say music, television, and film. Obviously, Tyler Perry been a huge, part of that. But do you feel that there are more opportunities for creatives and African-American creatives in entertainment right now?
Yeah, I think that it's getting better. I think it's getting better for sure. It's definitely getting better, but we still aren't there yet. I mean, there's still a lot of networks who really don't have that many Black executives in position,
right?
To, be able to hire and bring up more people of color. And that was the thing that I was really working on and focusing on last year when we were all trying to figure out things that we could do, whether it be protesting, whether it be donating, all of those things work. But we also need to make sure that we get more people of color in positions of power at these networks, at these movie companies and movie studios. Because if you don't, then you may not get that many opportunities to put the right shows in, put the right movies out there. We always, we see certain shows make it, and then some people complain about, well, why, aren't we seeing more of this type of show or more of that type of show? It's like, you can't really blame other races for everything. What we need to push for is to get our people in these positions to make that happen, because what they don't know, they can't do. So we need some of us in position to say, hey, this is what we like. This is what will work. You can't say, oh, Black shows don't work if you don't put the right Black shows on, No, so we need more of us in that. And those are the things that are important to me and that I've been, really trying to push. We have been able to see a lot of us on, stage entertaining the world. But we need to see more of us in positions of power.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if you're just joining us, we are talking with the one and only Kandi Burruss. She has a new show, a new production, Thoughts of a Colored Man, now showing on Broadway, as you'll see going across the ticker. You can look it up. You can Google it and find the tickets. They're actually October 2021. The tickets are on sale, so you can go ahead and support them. So I got to ask you, you are, besides Broadway, television, music, you also have a thriving group of restaurants here in Atlanta. I'm sure you're probably getting ready to expand outside of that as well. How has everything been going for you on that front during COVID, and just how we've been kind of changing as a culture and a society because of what's happening? How are Old Lady Gang and Blaze, tell people that may not know exactly about what you all have going on and how you all have been able to kind of pivot to deal with the new culture that has happened since COVID hit.
I would have to say, well, first of all, our restaurants are doing great. I mean, they were doing even better, obviously, prior to COVID and prior to the pandemic. But I would really have to say, honestly, living in Atlanta, Georgia is the real reason why, we've been able to continue with, not as many issues. And that's because everything is open here.
Yeah.
Realistically, when I go to other cities and I saw like all these things shut down and nobody was out on the streets, I was like, what is going on? Because here in Atlanta, people were still out at the club, honey. We was still in these streets. And I know a lot of people feel like that is so irresponsible. But that's what was happening realistically. So with that being said, it was a blessing as far as being a business owner in the state of Georgia, because small business owners were still being able to handle their business and keep their businesses open and do what they need to do.
Absolutely. Well, are you planning to, because we know you have a steakhouse, there's Old Lady Gang 1 and 2. Are you planning to continue to do more with, if everything is booming, why not continue to expand with the restaurants? You and Todd have more ideas to go outside of Atlanta with the restaurants?
We haven't decided to go outside of Atlanta yet. I mean, we've been doing more in Atlanta. We definitely have plans to do some more stuff here in the city for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
congratulations on all of that. It seemed like, to me, it almost felt like the pandemic and COVID made people want to enjoy going out more. Well, once things were open, and definitely you were able to do that, it seems like people are really enjoying being able to go out and, connect with friends and do that kind of thing. So it seems like all the restaurants here are doing really well.
What city are you in?
I'm in Atlanta. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, it didn't really stop.
Well, yeah, I guess it felt like it
did for 1 month.
Yeah,
a month and a half.
Yeah, a month and a half.
I can tell you because we had to shut down. We shut down in March and everything opened back up at the top of May.
At the top of May, yeah. And then it was like, but then it seemed like people were rushing to the restaurants. Like we want to be able to really enjoy that. So congratulations. I had a chance to go by Blaze, I think right around when things opened back up and have that experience. And it was really, really cool. So congratulations on all of that.
Thank you.
Now, we have to ask you about this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, because there's so much talk going on. Cynthia has acknowledged that she's not returning. We just learned that Portia is not returning. Drew had a great premiere season last season, and people were excited about her being added. There's been a lot of talk of people being afraid of like what's going to happen if we're missing Portia and Cynthia. How do you feel about the franchise now? You've been there since 2009, and you have managed to be like a favorite without, you've had some issues, but it's never been on you. It's always been, Kandi seems to be the peacemaker and kind of stays out of the mess. But how do you feel about going into this new season and hearing what everyone's saying about, 2 staple housewives no longer being on board?
Well, let me just say that, obviously I was sad for them to go. I'm never happy when one of our main cast leaves the show. But what I will say is that it's happened before. We've lost some big names in the past, and the show kept going, With that being said, I feel like anybody could leave the show and it can continue on. Yeah. It depends on, you got the right producer working with the show and you have the right cast, then it's always something gonna happen, child. It's like, even when I think ain't nothing gonna happen, something happens. So it's like I don't really at this point. I'm stopping myself from getting so invested into who's on the show. It doesn't matter who's on the show. It doesn't matter who leaves the show. Even if I leave the show can still go on because like it's just really having the right producer pulling what they need to pull out of people and making sure people are being authentic about showing their lives. And that's really it. I mean, I know the fans get attached to certain people or whatever, but I can tell you, I think that first year when like Kim Zolciak left the show, I know a lot of people's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Kim left. We kept up right on trucking on. The first time Nene left, everybody was like, oh my God, what we gonna do? You know, Nene left, you know, but the show just kept going and, you know, so on and so on. And it's like, I think right now, more than anything, it's kind of scary because it's like, okay, people aren't really getting into reality TV, period, as much as they used to.
Right.
So, you know, that paired with losing Cynthia, losing Portia, it is a hard blow, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's like
they'll figure it out.
They're gonna figure it out.
How have you managed to do the show and still, because we see certain people do reality TV and that becomes the crux of who they are. You have done reality TV, but yet Kandi's over here performing with Xscape. She's opening restaurants. She's doing Broadway shows. Like, how have you managed for that not to be? Is that not your focus? It's a part of your, I guess, your supporting cast, but not necessarily your primary focus. How have you managed to keep that and balance it and still, you know, be doing so many, have your hands in so many other pots while, you know, doing such a huge show?
Well, I think it's important to have other things going outside of the show.
Yeah.
Mainly because we do not control this show. Right. We are not the decision makers on this show. I know I be seeing people all the time thinking that I'm the one who decides who comes in, and I have nothing to do with it. So at any point, any of us could not get a pickup letter. They could say they don't want you back. So what then? So that's why I always, you know, I had that thought in my mind a long time ago. So that's why I was like, oh, I'm always going to have my stuff set up outside the show. So if at any time it's my time to not be here,
I'm okay.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to be good. You know, you have to make the most of the show while you're here. And hopefully, you know, they continue to want you back or you continue to want to be there. But if not, you know, life goes on.
Yeah. I did hear that you were the reason that Phaedra did not come back, that you were the reason that said, hey, I
can't. The reason that she didn't come back, or is she the reason that she didn't come back? It ain't got nothing to do with me. Like I could easily, you know, she's going to be on Bravo still, that she's got another show that she's coming on. So.
Yeah. Is there
her? Y'all should support her when you see her. That's what I say. Like, I think people always want to put it on me or whatever. But at the end of the day, when she's doing something, you should support it. You know, not just talk about it online.
Right.
She did other shows on WeTV. You should have been supporting it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't like when people try to be like, oh, Kandi did this or Kandi did that. No, you need to, like, wherever the person is, you need to support them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, it's social media, mostly Instagram, that people assume different things because of different things on the show. Is there anything that has happened since your time, since joining Real Housewives of Atlanta, that you wish that you did not share?
I'm a pretty open person, you know what I mean? So I'm just kind of like, it is what it is. And I would rather say something about myself before I let somebody else say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like on well, not that it's not the only thing I didn't like, don't get me wrong, because a lot of that family drama stuff it could be a bit much, you know what I mean? But the only thing that really, really bothered me, I guess I would say, is when they were making those false accusations towards me of like trying to say I would drug somebody or something like that. Like that right there, I kind of like had it with the show on that. I was like, okay, now I can deal with the argument. I can deal with going back and forth or whatever. But when you just straight make up some BS like that.
Whole felony, right? That's some like felonious stuff that could.
In this world, in this day and age, you know, you can't be just throwing that type of thing out there about somebody. Like, no, that was when it was like too much for me. But the other stuff, I mean, I've said a lot. I have done a lot. I have, you know, been a part of stuff where you would just be like, oh my God, why did she say that? Or she said that? Oh God, like that's a lot, you know. But at the same time, I mean, you know, I don't care. It's like it is what it is.
What about because a lot of people say that marriages, and it does seem that way, marriages have a hard time on reality. Marriages have a hard time, period. But especially on reality TV. How have you and Todd, because we saw you guys meet dang near on the show, and able to like go through some really difficult stuff early on with families, and now you guys, you know, seem to be in a great place. How have you managed to keep your relationship where you're sharing things with us, but yet managing to keep, you know, stay tight and have that internal bond with the two of you guys and not kind of fall prey to that reality TV relationship curse that a lot of people think that happens to marriages on reality?
Yeah, they say that all the time. I don't know. I mean, I always used to try to wonder, like, why is it working for us and not necessarily working for a lot of other people? I think, you know, part of it is we met on the show. Some of those marriages were together prior to being on television together. So it probably is a hard, you know, situation if you're used to your life together was one way, and then all of a sudden you thrown out there, and then everybody's trying to pick your marriage apart, you know. Whereas with us, people have been trying to pick us apart since the beginning. So, you know, we got tough skin. You know, it's like Todd, he came from a television background and he knows how TV works. So, you know, he doesn't allow people get to him.
Right. Yeah. He knows the games and doesn't fall for that because he's seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Well, I guess if we were to ask you, what are you most looking forward to for this, I guess for the next, you know, not upcoming year, but maybe the next 6 months? You have this show on Broadway. We know that the Real Housewives of Atlanta will be making it, coming back, and people will be seeing that. Everything else you got going on. You got a baby that's about to turn 2. What is Kandi most looking forward to for this next year?
Oh my gosh. A few things, I guess. I got a couple things I'm working on.
Of course.
But I definitely had to say one of the other projects that I'm doing with Bravo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit. Okay. Yes, I'm super excited. You know, I can't really like disclose the details about it or whatever until they're ready to, you know, do all of that. They always say, don't tell everybody what's going on or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited about that.
Are you executive producing that, or are you
both? You know, it's both.
It's both. Okay.
It's both. I'm really excited about it. It seems like it turned out really well so far. So
okay.
So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about, you know, another situation that I'm working on. It's in the early stages though.
Okay. That you can't tell us about.
Yeah, I can't really talk about that one because that one really is like super early stages, and, you know, to the point where anything could go wrong, and, you know, you just don't want
to jinx it.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that you're excited? What can you tell us about that you're excited about for the upcoming year?
I'm excited about this show, Thoughts of a Colored Man. Like, it's just started, and really it's supposed to go all the way to March. And so I hope and pray that everybody get their tickets so that it can continue to go. You know, I hope that, you know, everybody gets a chance to see it, recognize how much of an amazing show it is, you know. I would say everybody, please go out there and get those tickets, not just for October, but for November, December, all of that, you know. I would love to see you there. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I was telling the girlfriend how to go see it. Last two questions. I know you actually started doing plays a few years ago. We watched that on the show. How is this different than, because that was like your first foray and you had a lot of success. I think you guys filmed them and had them on DVD. How is Broadway different, or was that great experience to get you prepared for this?
It was a great experience to get me prepared, because with that show, I did a little bit more. I co-wrote the script. I wrote all the music for it.
Wow.
And then, we had to do everything from beginning to end. We had to pick the venues. We had to, get the costumes, do all of that stuff. So pick the whole crew, cast. I think I did more with that than I'm even doing now.
Yeah.
But it was on a smaller scale. Now I'm able to do it on a major stage.
Yeah.
It's really good. I'm excited about it, taking things up a notch.
Yeah. Last question, Kandi, which housewife leaving Real Housewives of Atlanta did you miss the most? Out of all the women that have come since you've been here, who have you missed their presence the most once you guys started filming again and their presence was missed?
Ooh. Nobody's ever asked me that question. That's a good one. Okay, so we had, that's tough. So we had, let me see who we had to have leave. Okay, Deshaun Snow, I never got to work with her because she left before I was here.
Yeah.
Lisa Wu, I love her. She was there when my first year on the show. I loved her. Kim and I, we went through our ups and downs.
Yeah.
I respect what she did for the show. Nene Leakes, of course, I respect what she did for the show. You got Phaedra, you got now Cynthia, Portia, Sheree has come back forth a few times. Is that it?
Well, of the principal, but then you guys have had people come in and out like Eva.
Eva. No. Eva was one too. Eva, Demetria.
Kim Fields,
you're right.
That one was so strange for me because I grew up watching her and I just was like, I'm not really ready to see her.
Yeah, she was too nice for our bunch. I think by the time she knew that she wasn't supposed to be nice no more, it was already at the end. She had to toughen up a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful person though.
She is.
But okay. I guess I'm gonna have to roll with Nene.
Okay.
Because now mind you, I feel like it's gonna hurt me more with Cynthia because I feel closer to Cynthia and she's so sweet and But I feel like with Nene, she's so hilarious.
Yes.
Like, even with all the drama, like to me, I know she's drama, you know what I mean? But to me, I just love more her comedy. Yeah. Like she's funny to me. I love how funny she is.
She is hilarious.
Like that's a tough blow, to deal with. I mean, she come and go twice though. Yeah. It's like the first time she left, I was way more stressed, I think. Right. First time she left, I was like, oh, what the hell? Like, okay. And I knew that the network was probably going to be stressing, because she wasn't there. But I think that just really made everybody else even more just like, okay, well, hey, everybody just be very open with what they got going on. You know what I mean? Everybody just do what they do. And that year was still a really, really great year after. I think after that situation, I realized, okay, this show is just going to go on no matter what.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Because it was tough when Kim left, but the show was still great after. And then the first time that Nene left, it was like, okay, but the show was still great after. So I think if I had to go with one that I really was worried when they first left, it would have had to be Nene Leakes.
Okay. I wouldn't expect, I respect that because I wouldn't expect you to say that, but I get what you're saying.
Because we've gotten digging along at points.
No, just because you guys didn't seem as close, but
I don't think that has anything to do with me being able to recognize that they were good for the show.
Right. Exactly. That's
what I'm saying.
Right.
I think people always, I think people tried to say little things here and there as if they thought like I had something to do with Nene Leakes not being there. And that is not the case. Like, I don't care who said that. That is not true, because I don't give a damn. Excuse me. I don't care if she and I argued as many times as we've argued, as many disagreements we've had. And believe me, I don't like a lot of things that she said.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I still felt like she was great with us on the show.
Yeah. No, that's real. That is real. And I think that's what makes you the best, a great businesswoman, is you're able to separate business. Well, this makes good business, so this is what I should do, as opposed to just, going on emotional things. Well, thank you for being honest with us and taking out 40 minutes to hang out with us today. We really appreciate that. It was, but it was good conversation. And we are so proud of all that you have accomplished and continue to accomplish, Kandi. Let people know one last time where they can find, if there's a certain place they should go specifically so that they can support Thoughts of a Colored Man.
Okay. Well, the way that you can support is by getting your tickets. So please go to thoughtsofacoloredman.com, get your tickets, come and see it. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. You will love this show.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Kandi, and good luck. We definitely look forward to seeing you in New York.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me. This has been a great conversation with the one and only Kandi Burruss. You guys, please go support Thoughts of a Colored Man and all the other things that she has going on. Oh, Lady Gang, 2 locations here in Atlanta, Blaze Steakhouse, and so many other things that Kandi Burruss has going on. We'll definitely be sure to be watching out for her on Bravo's upcoming season of Real Housewives in Atlanta. I'm wondering what she was talking about when she said a new series. I'm wondering if that has anything to do with her and Portia. We know Portia's not there, but I believe Portia has a new series coming up on Bravo. So that'll be interesting to see if that plays out that way. But, we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, this has been your girl, Christal Jordan, for another reality check with the beautiful Kandi Burruss. I'll be back next week, same time, same place, right here on Rolling Out. You guys have a great week.